Okay. I think we're on.
It says we are.
We have attendees too, or are we waiting?
I'm waiting for attendees, but why don't we go ahead and get started? And as they come on, I will let them on. Here we go. All right. So let's see. Give it a second. Let me just get some people on.
Yeah, we're live. We're on.
Hey there.
I'm not sure if anybody's watching yet.
Okay.
Hey,
wow, we've got a lot of people joining us. And it doesn't let me add everyone at once, so bear with me. One at a time.
Hey, it's a Zoom party.
Yeah, that's right. On Monday night.
Yeah. We
Yes.
have fun. We need that connection, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, to start our week.
Awesome.
All right, good. We're almost there. We're going to go ahead and start any second here. Hi, PPFG.
Amy. Okay, good to know.
Guys.
All right.
Hey. Hi, Pam. Hi, Heather.
Hey. Okay, I'll go ahead and keep adding people on. We also have some people live in a group here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Lori. And I thought we would surprise you guys and also get this into our group. So enjoy. And I'm going to go ahead and start you off with Lori Welch.
Okay. Hey, guys. Okay, so my name's Lori Welch. I'm a diamond in Plexus, and I'm going to tell you my story, and then we're going to hear from Dr. McCulix and also Christina Boldy, and we're just sharing our stories. And then we're going to do sort of like coffee talk. I know it's a little bit late in the evening for coffee talk, so maybe it'll be like Slim Talk, something like that. And do a little meet and greet and answer questions for those of you that are popping on to find out, how does this business work and how can I make money from home? So I'll tell you my background. I was a fitness instructor, and I was also a homeschool mom, predominantly a homeschool mom, stay-at-home mom for 25 years before I started my Plexus business. I was introduced to the products by my oldest daughter, and I took them for some digestive issues that I had, some sleep issues that I had, and also for weight loss. So I'll tell you, 7 years later, I'm still on the products. I've been able to keep my weight off. Many years ago, I stopped having digestive issues, and it's just been smooth sailing. And I'm very, very, very grateful for this product line. But somebody had to introduce me to the business side. And so I'm so thankful for that. Maureen, can you show the income? So I saw these numbers that Maureen is going to show you, and I knew people that were making this type of money. And I had an opportunity to meet them, much like you're meeting us tonight. And I am a diamond sapphire, and that's the average monthly income. And that really got my attention because as a stay-at-home homeschooling mom, I was in a financial position where I really needed income, and I needed a lot of income. And so for a lot of people that are on here tonight, even looking at $1,000 extra a month, I know can be incredibly life-changing for people. But my goal was diamond, what you see right there. And so I'll tell you, drop it in the chat maybe, or drop it in the comments, is what would be significant life-changing income for you? What is your goal? And at the end of us sharing our stories, we can maybe take some questions and answers, and you can ask a question like, what would be involved for me to reach my goal? But let me tell you what Plexus has done for me. Right now, especially in this day and age that we're all living in, I can tell you that it is amazing to have financial freedom, to have things that pop up. I'm a homeowner. One of the things that happened is last year I found out that my foundation was cracked and my house was sliding down the hill. And I was actually asked by the engineer, do you want to walk away from this house or do you want to fix your foundation? And I was able to fix my foundation without any type of problem. And back in the days when we could travel freely, I've been able to travel so much. It's just financial freedom, and the blessing that Plexus brings is hard to describe, but peace of mind, I would say, the ability to be debt free. All of those things are super significant to me. And so I started working this as a business because I saw the value that these products had for the masses. And Dr. McCulloch is going to expound on that in a little while. But in the meantime, Christina, can you share your story? And probably you can stop screen sharing. We'll see Christina's beautiful face. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lori. Yeah, so my name is Christina Boldy, and I am married to a children's pastor. He has been a children's pastor for about 23 years. And so we have always been on one income predominantly. My training is in elementary education. That is what I went to school for. But I wasn't really able to use that degree until we needed some extra money. And that was when I found myself going back into the classroom. So I taught for a little bit pre-children. And then I went back to the classroom because we needed to supplement my husband's income. So we live in very expensive Southern California, and it's really hard to make it on one income. And so I went back to substitute teaching once a week, just so we could afford to eat out at El Pollo Loco off the dollar menu once a month. And so otherwise it was cutting coupons, and money was very, very tight, and there was never any extra room for anything extra. And so that was what I used my degree for. And then I started homeschooling my kiddos when they became of age. But then I wasn't substitute teaching, and that supplemental income was no longer there. But I was always looking for something. So I did do a little stint at the Curves women's. I don't know if any of you remember, Curves was an all women's workout gym. I did the 5 o'clock opening, and I did the 5 to 1 p.m. shift. I did that for a couple of years to supplement our income because I no longer was substitute teaching. But I was always looking for ways to supplement my husband's income because money was very tight. And so when that opportunity ended, again, we were left with, what are we going to do to supplement? And so that's when I needed help with my health. So initially, I was only looking at Plexus to get help with my health because I was suffering with debilitating head pain. And I was tired of taking 6 Advil for 14 and a half years, every 4 hours. And so initially, I came to Plexus just for the health help. I never even expected to have my own business, but here I am. I'm so thankful that I said yes to the business. And again, somebody had to share with me, hey, did you know that if you just get a couple of friends to do this with you, you can have your products paid for? And I thought, well, I have 6 siblings, and I know a lot of people that are tired and that don't feel great. I could do that, sure. And so when Maureen asked me to share with my friends, I thought, yeah, I can do that. But I wasn't very social media savvy. And so I initially talked to people face to face because I do come in contact with a lot of people as a pastor's wife. I do have a lot of conversations with moms, young moms, especially that are very tired, a lot of homeschooling moms. And so it was just a very natural extension of my ministry. So we would talk a lot about spiritual things, but now I was able to help moms with their physical health. And that was really, really cool. I loved that. And so the Lord just blessed that. And he allowed me to connect with many moms and help them feel better. And it was so exciting. And all of a sudden my paycheck was growing and my husband was blown away.
I
And
know. I was thinking the same thing. I love that.
all right. So thank you. So anyway, I was at the part where, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. So anyway, the Lord was growing that, and I was talking to more and more moms that were tired and not feeling great. And so the paychecks were growing. My husband was happy. The financial stress was becoming a little bit less, more and more. And that was just huge. Like, again, just going back to initially starting for health, but looking at the possibility, I just kept going. and kept going and kept sharing because I just saw the paychecks grow. And before I knew it, I was at Senior Gold, and that was in 2016. And then we had a life altering event happen in my family. You could never see this coming. It happened out of nowhere. And my daughter survived a severe car accident. And that just changed our world. So I was so thankful that at the time I was pretty much living at the hospital for about 3.5 months. But during that time, my team rallied around me, my friends, my community, and they gave me a raise. Okay, so now go back to when I was a teacher. As a teacher, if you get a certain amount of sick days, a certain amount of vacation days, but you don't get all that time off that you need. You would never be able to take 3.5 months off and still receive a paycheck, right? You would have to, they'd have to get a sub for your classroom. You'd have to write lesson plans. No, I did not have to do that with Plexus. I was able to be the vehicle to help my daughter in her rehab. And then my team was able to rally around me, and I was still able to receive a paycheck. And that's what residual income is, right? When you can't sit behind a desk 9 to 5, thankfully, I was still getting a paycheck. And they gave me a raise on top of that. And so that just completely blessed our family. I was able to send my youngest son to private school so he could finish out his last 2 years at a private school because I was no longer able to homeschool him. So through Plexus, we were able to do that. And through Plexus, we were able to do so many things to help with our mortgage and just help with the products. I mean, we covered way more than I ever even imagined. And so again, that paycheck just kept growing. And before I knew it, I was senior Ruby, and I wasn't able to work for quite a long time. I just want you to know that I showed up when I could and I coached when I could. But again, I had the help and support of my team to do this. So this is not something you do alone. As a matter of fact, you will never make it on your own. So you need the team behind you. And so with that, I was able to, took a long time, but I've just recently ranked to Emerald, which is just so amazing to be sitting here, because when I first said yes, when I was sitting next to Cindy Morin at a Super Saturday at LAX, we went and we saw that and we looked at each other and we said, we have to do this and we're going to go to Diamond in 9 months. Okay, that did not happen. Life happens, and you don't always, that journey kind of has a little bit of detour sometimes. And so here we are, I'm at Emerald. I have an opportunity to have the car. I have an opportunity to travel to Hawaii and to have it be paid for. It's been a dream of me and my husband to be able to go to Hawaii because we've never been. And so I'm so blessed to have said yes to the business. It has blessed our family in amazing ways. We can travel without needing to really think about the finances. I mean, for a single income for 20 plus years to just say, yeah, go on Airbnb. Doesn't matter how much. We want to be on the beach. Okay. I mean, I never thought I would be able to say that, but here I am. We're going to be going for Labor Day to see my son who's in the Navy, and we're going to get to spend the weekend with him at a really nice place on the beach. And it's going to be paid for. Thank you, Plexus, right? And so I'm so thankful that I said yes to the business. And so that is my story. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Stephanie so we can hear her story.
Okay, thank you so much for having me on. And I hadn't heard your whole story to date, Christina, and oh my gosh, it's so special. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy for you. But yes, so I'm a medical doctor, and I was having a talk with Lori about, how do we succinctly give my story? So here I'm going to try. But basically, I went to med school and I wanted to be a doctor because number one, I wanted to help people. And I thought the most important thing, and I still think the most important thing, is our health. We have to have that. And, so number two is I wanted to be able to live anywhere that my family and I decided or chose to. And lastly, I wanted to make a good income. So I did the things. I went to medical school. I became an OBGYN, and and it was rough. It was very rough, but it was always with that delayed gratification that when you're out there working, everything would be worth it. And so I was in practice, private practice, for about 3 years, and my daughter was just an infant at the time. And I remember one night on call, it was 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning. I had just come out of surgery and I was in the locker room changing, and I looked at my scrub shirt and it was drenched because I had missed her feeding yet again. And I remember looking at myself in that mirror and thinking, this is not why you did this. This is not the life you were working for. This is not the dream. And so I struggled with that, but there was a lot of, time, money, blood, sweat, and tears put into that. And I continued to do my best. And years later, I had my own health struggle, and my good friend Debbie mentioned the Plexus products to me. And it just so happens I had been watching people in my practice get better, from Plexus too, from things that I couldn't really necessarily help them with. Debbie was one of them: back pain, migraines, weird skin rashes. So the seed was already planted. And then I was really looking for something for myself. I was also very into gut health at the time. And to learn that that is Plexus's core line of products and what they do really clicked with me. And so I met Lori and I ran with it. And I can tell you that it's been the best decision. And I'm so glad that I am on this path. So I can say, the products are widely applicable to everyone, men, women, and children. We all need to be addressing our gut health anyways. These are monthly renewables. These are, things, subscriptions and whatnot that are set up to help people succeed and be consistent on the products. Business-wise, it is extremely low overhead. It's like nothing compared to other businesses, compared to my business. The $39.95 a year, even if you spend a couple hundred in samples and hundreds on brochures, that's really nothing compared to, what you'll be making with Plexus and what other businesses cost by the time you get done with your overhead, your insurance, and all of those other things, your employees, your staff. So that is really a breath of fresh air. It's a low stress job. And some people might be not totally agreeing with me on that, but believe me, it is a low stress job. Like, this is not, no one's going to hemorrhage to death on you. And you have lots of support and resources, both within Plexus and within your team, to handle anything that comes up. And then also it's very flexible in that, I'm doing this from home now. You could be doing it from a beach later. Sometimes I sit out by my pool, that gives me a lot of peace of mind, a lot of satisfaction, to be able to more meet the needs of my family, especially now with what's going on with schools and things are kind of up in the air with COVID. And then the last thing I'll say, there's just lots of opportunity. And there's, I don't mean to speak badly, but there are very few doctors, no matter how much you work, that have the income potential of what a diamond has in Plexus. So it's a real deal. I mean, it is a real career, professional level income, if that's what you want it to be. I'm senior Ruby right now and working my way up. And then, it's something that gives residual income, which is a different kind of income. I, in the past, only had the kind of income that I was directly putting in the blood, sweat, and tears for. And especially when I was out with my health issues, to still have money coming in, a little to put towards my office rent, to still pay my staff, was a huge help. And, also to mention the products, not only was this residual income working for me, but the products were working for me too. So it was definitely a win-win. And then the last comment I'll make is that it's a business where your fun and your friends are built into it, which I think is immensely important, because sometimes when we get busy and then to have to plan that extra, get together or this or that, the fun stuff can just get brushed aside and doesn't always happen. So it's been very rewarding to be able to do this with good friends, with other good women, to grow in my faith, to grow personally, and to be healthy along the way. So that's my story.
Woo! That was
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you, Christina and Dr. McCulloch,
You're
aka
welcome.
Stephanie. She gets to be Stephanie right now.
Right.
But yeah, part of the reason why I really wanted her to share is because, I do not think there is one single thing wrong with, Heather, congrats on your new baby, for example, for a stay-at-home mom to fit this business into the nooks and crannies, and they can still get to diamond like that. Okay. So if somebody wants to make $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, whatever that's not laughing money. Like, that takes a lot of hours out of your home. I used to be, and I still am, a big fan of Shark Tank. And you look at some of those people and the products that they develop, or something that they put their blood, sweat, tears, mortgage their house in. They stand up in front of those sharks. No one expects them to even be profitable for 3 years, so they're usually in the hole, not even taking any income from a business they're putting their whole life, and sometimes their relatives that they're borrowing money from. So to be able to make $1,000 a month, that's significant. $500 a month, that is significant. And so, but I wanted Dr. McCulloch on here because I wanted you to see, and of course, obviously Christina's an emerald, so that's, significant money. But I wanted you to see the gamut. I wanted you to see, sometimes we look at professions and we think this is an amazing profession. Plexus is different. Our compensation plan is great. Our company has very high standards ethically and in every way. And the products are good. People need them and want them and stay on them for a very long period of time once we can get them to the life-changing benefits. It's an investment in their health sometimes, but haven't we kind of realized that that's important? If you don't have your health, what do you really have? And so right now, I would like to open this up to any kind of questions. And please don't anybody be shy. Like, we're here tonight. Like, we want to answer your questions. If you're considering this for yourself and you're not quite sure, maybe you want to know about like time investment, anything like that, please either pop a question in the chat or unmute yourself and ask the question. Anybody? Okay, a full-time job in a demanding industry. And so that's from Diana. Okay. So would your question be kind of how you could fit that in, maybe? You're muted. Sorry.
I'm actually new to this product. Cindy, I want to call her Willis because that's how I met her, but Morin. And then Patty DeFelicis introduced me to this product because I was having shoulder pain that was causing neuropathy in my left arm. And I lost count of the prescription drugs that they had me on, but it was a lot. And I'm literally off everything except Tylenol on occasion. And so that's the only reason that because this is, to me, I was like, and Patty can tell you, it's like, all right, you're going to have to convince me because I am skeptical. And now I'm close to 3 months into it and I'm not a skeptic anymore. I'm a believer in the product and what it can do. And my husband thinks my energy level is bizarre because it's so different than what it was a few months ago. But yeah, I have a pretty demanding job, and I'm not really comfortable with reaching out to friends. I know some people feel like, well, they're your friends, but it's like I never want to mix the two together. So how do you do it from a, I think I could absolutely genuinely speak to the product and the benefits it's given my life, but how you expand beyond that, where you're not compromising relationships, I think that would be my biggest reluctance.
Yeah, so I think what I'm hearing is that you're afraid to come off as pushy to your friends.
Right.
And yeah, maybe be that girl. And so what I'm telling you is don't do it that way. Okay. But you have something, like, thank God that your energy is through the roof, and thank God that you don't have that, you're off all those prescription medications, and you don't have that shoulder issue anymore. And so that's because of Cindy reaching out to you. And so I have Plexus ears. Okay. I'll tell you, I cannot tell you how many times I have been in a situation, because people talk about either their pain, or they talk about how they don't have an income right now, or they talk about how tired they are, or how frustrated they are with their weight, or something. They tell you their problems, usually in some way, shape, or form. It comes up. And so kind of like you watched this Zoom tonight, watch the health ones, start listening to the work from home Zooms or the different stories, and you will develop Plexus ears. And someone will say something. I've been in situations where I'm like, I don't want to say anything, but I utterly have to, because I'm like a horrible human being if I don't. And like, I have somebody right now that I'm thinking about. We went out to dinner with them, and my husband said, do not bring up Plexus. You are forced. Basically, don't speak a Plexus word. Okay. She started crying at the dinner table because she had lupus. She was losing her eyesight. Like, she had so many problems. And I just looked at him like, he's like, go ahead, So, and that person has lost weight. They're off. I'm not making any medical claims, but they addressed their core health issues. And their medical file was this high. Some people are just healthy. Like, I was healthy. I just needed to lose weight, and I was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and couldn't go back to sleep. And so I am so grateful that that's not me anymore. And, knowing the value of what you have, all you can do, like, we really suggest you reach out to people and say, I have something that I think could help. Would it be okay with you if I send you something to take a look at? And then you send something and you expose them to it. Maureen up here in the corner, I followed up on her for 7 months because she was bedridden and she had a health issue. And every time I saw her same issue come up, I had to reach out to my friend. Like, I've known her for years. She was suffering. And so unfortunately, you are armed with information already. And just do it respectfully. I always try to just do it respectfully, but I'm compelled. Like, if I hear a shoulder thing, and I'm going to think of you, and I'm going to have to tell the person.
And I wanted to say there's probably quite a few people on the Zoom today that if we asked them if they're glad the person talked to them about Plexus and they kept telling them about Plexus over and over again, they'd be happy that they were, because she talked to me about Plexus for 7 months before I joined. And I'm just so happy that she did. Thank you. I keep thanking her because my life has changed. So she's the best friend I could have had because she helped me with Plexus. So I hope that helps with a little perspective there.
But I'm just not pushy as a person. And so you just have to connect them with the information if they, have needs. I have one, Dr. McCulloch's, her cousin, she shared with her cousin, he's now lost over 120 pounds. His health has completely changed. I have somebody right now, she's lost 80 pounds over a year. Her health has completely changed. And so I know that I'm a helper. And so, but don't worry, if you're in this group, we have a lot of resources for you, and help you be a catalyst and not, an annoying person.
Yeah, Lori, I just want to say quickly too, in my testimony, I mentioned I don't know if I mentioned sharing or not, but my most rewarding sharing has been with my family, because there were many I have a big family, but there were many who were struggling and I didn't know it. And even though we're close, we talk, we get together. My cousin Steve, I hadn't seen him in like 10 years. Sorry, it's my dog. So, and sometimes it's not all you just share one little thing. That's kind of what happened with Steve. I shared with one of my cousins, and then his sister told blah, 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 told Steve, and that's how it went. So they come to you, and, between using third-party tools and three-way chats, there's a lot of support. So, yeah.
And Stephanie, you still work full time right now, don't you?
Part-time.
Yeah, I work more of a part-time schedule, because I'm now, for the first year, it was full-time. And then now, because of my commitment and my dedication to advancing with Plexus, I've switched my schedule.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Diana, I just wanted to say that if you're coming from a place of authenticity and you are really genuine and really wanting to help, that's going to come across in the way that you speak to them. It's not like you are going through the phone book and you're just calling strangers and asking them, hey, have you heard about Plexus? You're having coffee with a friend or dinner with a friend, and she's sharing with you her struggles. Maybe they're hormonal, maybe they're migraines, maybe they're pains that she's having. I mean, you would think nothing of sharing a great deal at Target, a great meal that you had at a restaurant. And so it's really, this could be life-changing for somebody. It's not a meal and it's not a deal at Target. This could be amazing, right? And they could actually care for their family better, or their spouse better, or their kiddos better. And so really just kind of shifting the way you look at it and really seeing it as an opportunity to help somebody too. Because that's the place you're coming from. You're wanting to help people.
Yeah. And just being that conduit of the information. Like I just say, I have something that I think could help you. Would you want me to send it to you so you could take a look at it? And then I just connect. Yeah, you're just the conduit. You're the go-between, connecting the resource with the person.
Thanks. Yeah, no, it's Patty and Cindy. Well, I'm constantly asking Patty questions. What do I do about this? And what about that? And she's been really great. And I actually have a friend who was recently diagnosed. Well, it's been over a year now with it's a spinal cord, some sort of, I can't remember the name of it, but it's attacking the nerves of her spinal cord. So she's on all sorts of medications and steroids and stuff. So I was just going to send her the triplex combo as a gift to try, because I just figure what can it hurt? The worst she can be is no different than before she took it, right? But I feel like it could help her. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but I've been surrounded by some really nice people who have really helped me through the process of feeling better. So, if I can approach it with the amount of grace that they shed upon me, then it should be okay.
Yeah. And you know what happens? I'll tell you, and I don't know if there's any other questions, but my friend Debbie's on here. That's her little face. Your hair looks so good. I've never seen you fix it like that. But anyway, Debbie, her story is amazing. Okay. She was in a world of hurt before Plexus. And she now, like when I travel with her sometimes, I'll be like, where's Debbie? And Debbie's like met some stranger that is sharing her life story. And Debbie's, telling them about Plexus. And that's because once you start collecting some stories of people getting better and getting the help they need and being grateful for it, it starts to become very addicting. Because you know that you can
help
transfer.
them.
Yeah, you can
You know,
help.
you can help them. You
Yeah.
can help them for sure. Like I'll just add that one farmer's market thing. You know, we talked to him the other night, Lori, you know, you and I,
Yeah.
and he's been sick for over 10 years. And do you know, he's been on it for less than a month, and he's feeling amazing.
Yeah.
He's tried everything. And so that I just overheard him talking at the farmer's market, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go over and talk to you because I can't hear what you're saying and not go help you. And I think like when you know like what you have, what we have with Plexus, with the products and the opportunity, you can't not tell. I mean, especially about the products, you know, for me, because everybody's suffering. I mean, my daughter's boyfriend has stomach issues. He's 17 years old. Like, how can you not? You have to share it. It's not like it's. I mean, right, Lori? You have to share it. You can't keep all this a secret. You can't just. You have to get over yourself and just say, I'm here to help, and that's what I'm doing, and not look at it any other like. Because I'm a salesperson in my other business, and it's completely different. I just want to have people feel when you suffer with pain and your life's taken away, and you have something that will make somebody better. You just need to share it with everybody. And that's kind of my story with it. So
Yeah.
Try not to think that your friends are going to think anything less of you. And I've talked to some friends for over a year now, and they're finally doing it. And guess what? After a month, they're getting better. So don't give up on your friends, because the products work.